Hey there, everybody, and welcome back. It is now 016 2025 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, we are gonna go over short term weather and also what's going on next week that I'm sure most of you all are pretty interested in. But first, we're gonna go over the short term weather stuff. So, we do have some snow showers going up in the Rust Belt of the Midwest and the Great Lakes area, and that seems to be like the common theme with the northwest flow coming into the country. And that's going to be very important because it's bringing all the cold air coming down into the country from Canada and the Arctic. So that's going to be very important for the next stage of the weather that's coming up. It's pulling in all the cold air from Canada, and it's gonna stay up this big cold air mass over the eastern half of the country, and that's gonna be important for the next part. So we do have a very short-term weather events coming up for Friday night into Saturday morning, especially you're in western North Carolina in the mountains. So you're above about 3,000 feet. It is cold enough for most of that moisture that's coming through the area to turn into the rain. So that's why it's something that I'm pointing this out for the mountain people, because I do have like a lot of friends that are like in Asheville area and the surrounding areas. So I want to give them a quick heads up for them. So we're gonna go over the snow amounts real quick here. So like I was saying, do expect like at least a couple inches of snow in the mountain peaks of western North Carolina, especially right around Mount Michelle right here, and the Boston Mountains and the Smokies here, and also the Rome Mountain and the Grandfather Mountains. So all these high mountain peaks above 3,000 feet, and especially above 5,000 feet, should be expecting at least 3 inches of snow. And the peaks themselves probably gonna be about over 6 inches of snow. So that's gonna be the story for them over the next couple of days as you want to bring this to attention. So we're gonna move on, looking toward the next week. And I know you guys are like, what are the details? Are we gonna get snow, Kyle? Are we gonna get snow? How much? Is it gonna be 20 inches of snow? Well, like, just hold on for a second, alright? So we do have like 7 to 10 days now. We're looking for the pattern, pattern recognition, or things like favorable for the winter weather. And right now we do have the check mark for that. So get the pin now. We do have the check mark for that. And now we're kind of like in that 5 to 7 days range right now. So, are we like threading up or down? What's the storm trend is gonna be like? And is it gonna be moving toward the mountain or the coast area? Are we getting more snow or less snow? And that's what we're looking at right now. We're at the trends right now at this range, at this stage of forecasting. And there's a lot of change that are still happening, and that's why you want to be very careful about what you're putting out there to the public. You'll want to be like, oh, it's gonna be 10 inches of snow for Greenville, North Carolina, 7 days from now, and it's gonna stay like that. Because breaking news, it's not gonna stay like that. So you have to be careful. You're looking at bigger picture for now here, and you're looking at many different details, many different pieces. You'll be looking at where's threading up, where's threading down. And by the way, I want to give a quick shout out to Tim Buckley out of Greensboro for this graphics, because there are several media artists in North Carolina that are professional, and they're using this graphics because it's a great graphics used for North Carolina winter forecasting. So over the next few days, we'll eventually get to talking about the timing of a storm type. Is it going to be snow, sleet, ice? And then 1-3 days out, we'll be talking about the forecast details, the amount, the location, the timing, all that jazz. So for now, Richard focusing on my trends. And right now, the tracks, it's kind of over the place because we do have what we call the vorticity, which is like the spin, the motion and the spin that goes into creating the low pressure system that makes snow. So we're looking at the motion of the atmospheres, and there's like some bit difference between computer models on how they're handling these pieces over the West Coast, USA, over California, and over the Rockies. So we'll get to the difference here, and I'm going to bring out the marker for this. So we got what we call the Northern Stream image. I wouldn't call it imagery, but most people seem to call it imagery, but it's not really imagery, it's more motion. So we got the Northern Stream here that's bringing all the cold air here from Canada and Arctic. That I mentioned it at the beginning of the video. All that cold air source is coming in, and it's gonna generate that spin for the storm that we have coming up. But in the case of GFS, there's like that extra motion and atmosphere being left behind over California. So there's like this disconnect between these two features. So for our next weather events, so in our net winter events, it's going to be mostly dominated by the Northern Stream here with the cold air and the motions. But the storm could be better or bigger if there's like more connection between these two here. If there's like more pacing, we'll get bigger storm, hopefully. Or it could be overpowering and we end up with rain. So we have to be careful. But right now, this is the most disconnect between the models with these two features. And then you're gonna go over the Euro, and you can see there's a little bit more of a connection between these two features. The Northern Stream that's bringing all the cold air and the extra motion that's coming into the storm to help generate the lift for the storm to create more moisture, more power to the storm, basically. And these two are like a lot closer here comparing to the GFS. And you can see it here. That's a pretty big difference. And then we got a computer model from Canada that is actually kind of pacing in these two features together earlier on, and that's giving us a bigger storm here. So again, we got the Northern Stream here, and we got that cut off low here that's kind of pacing in together, and that's giving all the motion and lifting power to the main feature here. So that's why Canada computer model, it's giving us a bigger storm comparing to the European, which is kind of like in the middle ground, comparing to the American computer model, which is kind of like not showing a lot for us. And then we're going to point out the end results here. So because there's like this connect of a feature over the West Coast, it's ending up like more of a dryness with less moisture and sending the low pressure out to the ocean here, and that's a terrible color. Sorry about that, y'all. So it's kind of sending the feature out to the ocean. That's another terrible color. So sorry about that. So yeah, and without that extra motion and lifting, it'll help the low pressure to curve up a little bit more. But because there's that disconnect, it's sending the storm straight out to the ocean. And that's why you have to be careful about the forecast right now, because this still can happen. This still can happen when you got all the cold air but no moisture. Because the moisture's down here and the cold air's up here, and there's that disconnect that I'm talking about. And you got the European computer model, and you still got that, that cold air here, up here, and it's kind of interacting with the moisture a little bit better here, and then you end up with this coastal weather storm here. So you got the coastal area with the snowstorm here in this run, and this can still get better. You got better connection between the features out on the West Coast yesterday. You can potentially get a better storm. And then something like this, we can get better pacing, we can get a better storm, bigger snowstorm, more power. So, Yeah, so that's what the difference give you all like different ideas. And that's why you have to be careful about the trends right now. Because we're not entirely sure if we're actually gonna get snowstorm or if we're gonna get nothing. It's too cold, it's too dry. Or even this whole thing could, cut inland a little bit more. Shit like last week and all that rain and missing area could shift northwest by another 50 or 100 miles. So you have to be very, very careful. There's like so many different ways that we can get this storm. But the main story here is we do have the pattern. We do have all the cold air here. We do have the moisture down here. It's about how they're interacting with each other here. And that's the main story. And that's why you have to like take the bean of many different solution and come with a rough idea forecast for 6-7 days out. So this is just the rough idea. So remember that early on I was talking about the snowstorm for Friday night into Saturday. That's all the stuff here. We're gonna ignore that, alright? For this case, we're gonna ignore that. That's from Friday and Saturday stuff. So don't worry about that. So what we're focusing on is for this case, we're using what is called the assembly computer model, which is when the computer models are running through a bunch of different solution and calculation. Like it'll bring it to the origin point of a forecast of a computer run at hour 0, and then it'll adjust the calculation to a little bit. What if this is happening? What if that is happening? So there's a little bit adjustment, and it's coming to a different solution for the future. So we got 50 different solutions from European computer assembly here, and you can see I'm getting my marker out again, so as you can see, there's like a lot of different solutions. You get like a solution that bring them all the snow, and you have a solution that bring them all the dryness and nothing. So there'll be nothing. And then you have a solution where it's cutting inland and giving the inland areas more snow. And then yeah, there's like a bunch of different solutions here that you have to watch out for. And then what we're doing here is we're taking the calculation from all these computer model runs and put it into the mean average for all these calculations here. So that's what the average is showing up, and the average is suggesting that eastern South Carolina and eastern North Carolina is in the best shape for snow 7 days out. But this whole thing could still shift up and down. It could be more snow or less snow. So more snow or less snow. That's all the possibilities are still on the table, and that's where you have to be staying here and spending the next couple of days looking at different bunch of the data, looking out for what is threatening. Is it shifting toward the north? Is it shifting away to the ocean? Is it giving up more moisture or less moisture? Many questions to be be answered by us over the next few days. So yeah, but for now, the smart money is on for January 21st, January 23rd to like have some kind of winter events in the south, and especially deep south, like the middle to lower part of the southern states. And for us here in North Carolina, South Carolina, the eastern to there had a pretty dense chance of getting a snowstorm at this range, but we could easily lose the storm. It could easily go out in the ocean and give us nothing. So that's something you have to keep watching out for. And yes, we do have the WPC, which is the Weather Prediction Center, I believe it is what it's called, and it's giving us 30 to 50% chance of at least 2.5 inches of snow and sleet using 10 to 1 ratio. So 30 to 50% chance that eastern South Carolina and eastern North Carolina, it's gonna get that amount of snow, which is pretty good. There's some confidence for this range, but not enough confidence to be sure that it's actually gonna snow. So we're still kind of like in that win game for now. So yeah, like questions, let me know in the comments, or keep following me on Facebook. I do more regular updates on Facebook, but I try to pump out the videos once a day for y'all. So yeah, that's all I have for y'all. I hope you're enjoying it. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and like the video, and share them with your family and friends. Thank you very much.